Breezy,
Gritty, this that 9 to
Mo's nose, Peachy, fair to God. It's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, Peachy, Breezy, and fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to talk. We two gorillas, silverback, nah, silver
You know it's
hawks.
busting the discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's nose, and fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, it's the lightest talk. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, it's the lightest talk.
We outline players up in chalk.
Nitty gritty, it's the lightest talk. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, it's the lightest talk.
Lightest talk.
Nitty gritty, it's the lightest talk.
What's going on, 49er faithful? The nitty gritty tag team duo is here. We should be getting a trio. Hopefully, we get the quadruple O. I don't know what that is. Quartet. We'll get the quartet in the building. Peachy, what's going on? How you feeling after? It was like we had an overreaction show yesterday, but there was nothing really to overreact to. It was so funny.
So we kind of had to create stuff to actually pick on because it was one of those.
Oh, did Metcalf end up scoring anyway? That was crazy. We were watching and Metcalf didn't get in because of the butt, and then he must have got in. So yeah, but you're right. We wasn't really creating anything. We were literally trying to figure out what we need to do to be better, because that's what we do. Like we go through the team, and if we could do this a little bit better, we could do that a little bit better. Yeah. That's what it's all about, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, Walker ran it in. Thank you. That's what I thought.
That's how that works. Of course, it would be Walker, but oh well.
Yeah, because Walker's on my bench as of right now, because I had no idea what they were doing. I didn't know if it was Charbonnet.
Guess what? I forgot to take most out of my starting lineup.
Oh, that sucks.
So I lost that one. That was just...
That sucks. Chrissy says, good call on Baltimore. Baltimore beat the Baltimore beat the living breaks
yes.
out of...
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that junk is crazy. Like that, like I didn't expect that, Josh Allen once again lays an egg.
Right.
But you know what? What happens is when a guy like King Derrick Henry runs all over you,
yes,
it's kind of hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of hard.
So guys, let me tell you, while we're talking about this NFL stuff, that me and Breezy have an NFL show that's exclusively on the Patreon. So you guys should join the Patreon so you can hear me and Breezy talk about these NFL things, because we talk about the undefeated teams and everything, and who's left and who's not, and all this stuff. So who's good and who's not. So it's a wonderful time to join.
Great show.
It's
Great
just patreon.com. Wayne Breezy. It's very easy to find. He's the Wayne Breezy, just like he is on everything else. The Wayne Breezy. Yes.
Yeah. But it's really cool. And speaking of Patreon, I'm actually, doing my notation so I can start watching the film tonight and get those videos recorded. The Brock Purdy throws, I'll have that up there for the Patreon members at the $5 tier, and that'll be something that they can have to look at and see what Brock did. I was going through it and I was like, dang, Brock missed a lot of passes. You know what I mean? Like 12 passes, I believe. He was he missed a lot. But it's still a good game. Still overall a good game. Peachy, just like looking at it a day later, kind of resting on it. Like, what was your overall take in a small paragraph of the game? Like, what was your overall take, like, just of the game itself?
My overall take was thinking that it was going to be more about the run, and it turned out to be more about the pass, and how the offense, was doing passing the ball, and they did pretty decent. Apparently, that's the way that Kyle wants to go, so that's what we're going to do. As far as the defense goes, I felt like that the pass rush was better yesterday I felt like they were able to keep Brissett in control a lot more. Now, he wasn't trying to throw no deep, passes. He's never really been that type of quarterback. But I felt like that as far as our line goes and our linebackers, I thought they were great. I thought they did really excellent. Special teams, just like you brought up, sometimes fumbles are going to happen. Things are going to happen. But still not keen on the special teams aspect of this team. Not yet, anyway. But the more important thing was we've got to control the penalties. Felt like we got some very, very boneheaded penalties. That's what made it, that you just can't do. That's the thing that you can't do. I felt like that overall the O-line did pretty well for the most part. They still have their little spots, but, it's our O-line. And I got to learn to love it because that's just what it's going to be, is what it is right now. It's not going to change. As we know, Kyle doesn't value the O-line like Peachy values the O-line. So therefore, I got to learn to love it. Everything about it. It does have its bright spot with Dominic Pooney, though. And we definitely hit gold with him, literally, at right guard. So I'm very, very happy about that. He continues to shine out there and look really good. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot. Just want to retouch on some of the stuff that you went on. No, I said give me a paragraph.
Yeah.
You gave me a book. But
I know.
I'll tell you what, no, it's cool. It's cool. So let's start. You said that you expected to run the ball more. But it's crazy. They actually did run the ball more. They ran the ball 32 times. They threw the ball 27 times. It probably seemed like the team was on the field longer because of the penalties, which was 6. The 49ers had 6 penalties for 43 yards. And when you say that they were bonehead, I was going through the penalties. We had a couple of illegal procedures. Defensively, we had too many men on the field. When I tell you these are bonehead penalties, like these are bonehead penalties.
Yes.
I understand the holding, the pass interference, but the legal procedures, like, guys, you got to know where to line up. If you go in motion, wait till the person stops for the next person to go in motion. Like, that's why sometimes I'll be like, Kyle, maybe it's just too complicated at times, but the Niners got to clean up some of those penalties. Luckily, it was only for 43 yards, and there were more penalties. And you know what? I was doing some research today, Peachy. Ooh, I'm so glad you brought this up, because when I tell you that I hate penalties more than anything, I'm tired of seeing that yellow fucking flag thrown out on the football field.
Yeah, God.
But Peachy, here's the cool thing, right? Can you guess? Just take a wild guess while I look for this, because it's on one of my 78 tabs I got opened up on my cell phone on the internet. Can you guess where the 49ers are ranked in total penalties? This ain't what I'm looking for. Damn it. Where you at? I'll find it, though.
In total penalties?
Yeah, total penalties. Can you guess where they're ranked? Well, can you guess how many they have, first of all, and then guess where they're ranked?
I know we have a lot. I want to say, okay, I'll take a wild guess and say 15.
No. Niners got way. They got way more than 15 penalties.
30.
You I feel like we're playing hot potato right now. You getting hot.
More?
Yeah.
35.
You could go up a little bit more.
Oh my God. 40.
Yeah, it's close. Hold on. I had it right here.
42.
You're close.
You've only had 4 games. This is really bad.
Yo, the Niners, listen. I could be wrong. It might not be 40, but I know this is not the right site. Oh, that's last year. I'm like, why that number look so different? Anyway, they were up there, but they're only ranked like in the middle. Like they don't. Sorry, it's not 42. You were close when you said it the very first time. What did you say the very first number?
15.
You were. It was. I thought you said 30 the second time.
Oh, so the second 29. Time I said 30.
Yeah. So the Niners have 29 penalties.
Oh wow!
But they're only ranked literally like in the middle. There was a team with 46. That's why The 40 number threw
Oh,
me off.
got you. Okay.
Yeah, it threw me way off. I gotta find this joint. Oh, here it goes. Is this it? Penalties per game. Nah, this ain't it either. Anyway, I was looking at that and I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. And then that was the number of total penalties. And then they got some that, teams declined or whatever.
Of course, yeah. Got you.
But they do gotta work on the penalties. Like they really do gotta work on the penalties, right? So 29 is a lot. We're only in 4 games. What's 29 divided by 4? That's like almost 7 penalties a game, right? Like 7 points. Damn.
That's
terrible.
crazy. That we only played 4 games. Like that's bad.
I'm gonna be on the fence and say the more they play together, the more what's the word? That stuff evens out. Especially the bonehead ones. You can't. It's almost impossible because the officials are gonna call what they want to call.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they're gonna call exactly what they want to call. So I thought that was pretty cool to see that the Niners, even though it seems like that's why I brought this up. It seems like the more things gel. Thank you, Nigel. It seems like they have a lot of penalties, but there are teams in the league that are getting penalized a lot, and it's fairly even. I feel like the Niners have 11 penalties away and 10 penalties at home. And then that's 21, and then 21. And then they have like 8 that were like declined, but a total of 29, if I'm not mistaken. I got to find that fucking stat. For some reason, it ain't showing.
How many do the Cardinals have? Like, where are they?
Shit, I can't find the 49ers. But I tell you what.
Because that would be interesting.
I tell you what, Peachy, go into the news. Let's talk about what's going on with the Niners.
Okay.
Let's go into the injury updates, which is kind of some good news for the players that were like injured in this game. And I believe they were listed day to day. So talk a little bit about that. And I'm gonna go ahead and kind of find this damn stuff.
I got you. So as we all know, we got the news about Christian McCaffrey that he has bilateral Achilles tendonitis. So for anybody who doesn't know what bilateral means, that means in both legs. So that's definitely not good. Not good at all. It looks like that everyone else is day to day. Fred, Elliott, Cowing are all listed day to day. Kalia Davis may be coming off the IR. And I think I saw something that the 49ers were up in the air about whether they were going to bring Slick Rick back. Was he one that they're still up in the air, bringing him back for week 5?
Yeah, so Ricky Pearsall is considered. They haven't decided if they're going to bring him back yet, so they're going to continue to work him out. They have up to a couple of weeks to declare if he's going to be made to the active roster. The Niners do have 2 active roster spots open, so technically they only have 51 men on their active roster. Right. And so with Kalia Davis returning from the IR, possibly maybe Ricky Pearsall, we'll see what happens. They may leave him on there a little longer, and keep a spot open, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It all comes down to what he does. And in the practice parts of the moment, because you got to remember the last time we saw Ricky Pearsall, he was still practicing in a blue non-contact jersey. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we really don't know. But as far as Jordan Elliott left the game with a knee injury. He never returned to the game. Jacob Cowing left the game. He was questionable to return, but he left the game with a shoulder injury. So I'm assuming he got hurt on one of the punt returns. And remember, we saw Kyle Juszczyk in there returning the punt. Yeah, so he left with a shoulder injury. But I'm just singing praises that Fred Warner's ankle injury is a day-to-day thing. It doesn't sound like it's a high ankle sprain.
Right.
because we got a big matchup with the Cardinals, and Fred Warner is the key.
Huge challenge.
Right. And so hopefully the pain, the swelling, whatever it is, it goes down. I'm sure he may, even if Fred Warner doesn't practice like full go, as long as he's healthy and full go for Sunday's matchup, that's the only thing I care about. But I'm glad that his injury wasn't more significant than what it looked like, because remember, he didn't return.
Right.
Yeah.
We, let's see, did you mention Kittle's ribs?
Kittle's got the rib injury, but he returned to the game. So
yes, he did.
Chris Conley, I believe, has an oblique injury.
Yeah,
but he played in the game as well. So, you know, but they do have injuries. They're not significant, but they did play. So thank you for bringing those up. Any other injuries that we need to be aware about? I felt like Leonard Floyd had some. I don't know. I feel like I'm making up injuries at this point. All the Niners are injured at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally injured at this point. Ricky practice window open now? They're going to decide that. So we don't necessarily know about his practice window as of yet. We're believing that it's going to be open. He's been there. But let's talk about Christian McCaffrey and the bilateral Achilles tendonitis. I want to spend a little, not too long. I mean, look. The news came out that the 49ers are going to ramp up his practicing, his rehab, all that good stuff. So that's good news. But the news that came out by Matt Maiocco on today, after Ian Rappaport reported on Sunday that the 49ers, Sunday morning, that the 49ers were planning and hoping to get him to return early November back to football. Matt Maiocco's report came out today saying that this dude has Achilles tendonitis, not in just one leg, but in both legs, right? Both freaking legs. He has the Achilles tendonitis. And Kyle Shanahan said, what did he say? He said something about like, yeah, but it's more prominent in one of the legs, right? Like to kind of like save the face. I don't know what's going on with Christian McCaffrey. I really don't. At this point, I don't know.
He said there was a time he's had it in both. I think it started in one. He was overcompensating.
Yes.
And it went to the other. But mainly one of them has been bothering him, but he's had it in both. I have a lot to say about this.
Say it.
Well, because the media is not being nice about it, and I honestly can't say that I don't blame them because I don't understand it either. I'm confused. How long did the 49ers know about this? And how long did they think that they were going to be able to prevent this from getting out? That's my thing. I am literally with the guys on NFL Network. I'm with all these different, how long did this organization know that we were dealing with this from McCaffrey?
I mean, does it matter? I mean, I don't get the point of them how long. First of all, the organization restructured his contract. I've been saying for the longest that they had to have known about this injury when they did the restructure. Possibly, I don't know how the rules work with the NFL and how you declare this and declare that, but there's got to be something to where Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and the team knew they were going to get him his contract, they would get him to restructure, and he was going to get the help that he needed because he's going to be worth it. He's going to be much more worth to them healthy than he is unhealthy. It made no sense, right? For him to do anything. Now, it could be because of something that you was alluding to from last season. Did Kyle Shanahan overwork Christian McCaffrey? Or did Christian McCaffrey has he been dealing with this kind of like tendonitis type of thing and it just flared up and ramped up over time and the workload that he's had since he's been in San Francisco? So we don't know when the tendonitis started. Like it could have been tendonitis from the time he was in Carolina getting beat up all these times. We don't necessarily know.
Right. Which is another thing and then on the other side of the fence, I have a question. Did Carolina reveal everything that they needed to when this trade was made to the 49ers about what was going on there? Because that was another question that media was like, when you look at it from the other side, what if the Panthers knew that something was going on and they didn't disclose this information to the team that got their player.
Well,
because it wouldn't be the first time that we went through this with NFL
it's not a
teams
significant injury. And so if it's not a significant injury, I don't think they could have been like, he's probably dealing with some tendonitis or whatever. And it's just not significant. Tendonitis is not significant. It's just literally sore, whatever. Like sore tendons, I guess, right? Inflammation, in the tendons, right? That's all it is. So the best way to deal with tendonitis is to rest. Well, when he came in, he had no rest? Didn't he play that first week against Kansas City and we got beat up?
Yeah.
Right. I'll never forget that day. That's the day channel got hacked. So
yeah.
But then that year went, and then the next year he went, full Terminator on motherfuckers. Like this dude, Christian McCaffrey was a machine.
Yeah.
Literally.
He literally had had them over there with the helmet and everything. Yeah.
Taking hit after hit. Ed says, Breezy John Lynch said last week on KNBR that he had no lateral Achilles tendonitis. Everybody missed it. So you're saying in the report when they got him, he had no lateral Achilles tendonitis, or are you saying he can't move laterally now? I'm just curious. Rick, what's going on out there? Shout out to everybody out there that's tuned into the show live too as well. You know what I'm saying? Truly appreciate you for tuning in. Jax asked a great question. Didn't he have to have a physical? That's what I'm saying. So in order for the deal to even go through, there had to be a physical from the 49ers. And if the doctors cleared him on the physical, that's why the trade went through. Like that's a fact that there has to be a physical taking place. Like, you know what I mean? So
I guess.
Clearly there again, tendonitis, ladies and gents, is just inflammation in the tendons. Y'all worried about the tendonitis. I'm worried about like this Achilles and the tendonitis potentially causing the Achilles to go pop. Like that's what I'm worried about, because we literally are dealing with a player right now that to me is the Christian McCaffrey of the defense. That's Dre Greenlaw, the energetic, fly around the field, secret weapon. That's who Dre Greenlaw is. And we watched his Achilles just pop on us on not even on a play, literally not on a play. So I think because of that injury, and because if Christian McCaffrey's coming in saying, listen, I don't feel right. I think they're just listening. I think they're doing their due diligence and just listening. Do they want him out there on the football field? Absolutely. Does Christian McCaffrey want to be on the football field? Absolutely. But here's the thing. I think the Niners are saying, hell no. Yeah. You're not going to witness what happened. If you need to rest, you need to rest. We'll start our rehab and, give you a little here, a little there, a little here, a little here. This might be the first time we're actually dealing with the tendonitis, like from a player and the Achilles. I did, or maybe Dre Greenlaw had Achilles tendonitis too, but I don't remember them calling it that. I have to go back and research.
I didn't remember them calling that either. I thought they called it something else, but
I thought he had,
I'm not sure,
a partially torn Achilles or something.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Lake City says this is basically inflammation.
Is that I think what we should do is just let him completely get together and just put it that way. And I mean, do like a lot of NFL teams, shelve him until later on in the season and bring him back. And that way he's fresh when we make the playoff run. Then he'll be fresh for that. I mean, that's what, a lot of teams do that all the time. So there you go.
Right. And if they did call it tendonitis, Rob D is right, because the Achilles that popped was the opposite leg. And remember, Dre just got rest. He just got rest. He just got rest. He got rest. He played, got rest, played, got rest. You know what I'm saying? And it's just unfortunate that it happened. Eddie G and the B-Dog says, go listen to Richard Sherman after we won. He talked about it. He said, you have to be patient with it. You like it's an Achilles. And If that elasticity and that Achilles is ready to give out, I don't have a rubber band here, but if you ever like lift weights, they got band resistance. Think of a thick ass band, but the more you use it, the more you cut, the more you do things,
Yeah.
you stretch it.
Yeah.
Right. And when you don't get proper rest for it to kind of like, get back together to its firmness, the more you stretch it, the more the chances you have it to go pop. I am not an MD. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I just know that it's like a rubber band and there's a possibility that it can pop. So that's why I think the 49ers are just being cautious. And I think because of the surgence of what Jordan Mason is doing, a round of applause, Jordan Mason. I think he's the second leading rusher in the NFL.
He is.
Only because Derrick Henry went ape shit last night.
Yeah.
Like Jordan Mason was first until Sunday Night Football. I just want to put that out there. He was number one until Sunday Night Football. But for Christian McCaffrey, I'm at the point where I just want to see the 49ers. Oh, because didn't Richard Sherman have the same injury? That's why he's talking about it. That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
That makes perfect sense. He went through this. We did. You know what? Let's take a small pause and do a moment of silence. We lost two legends on this. We lost two legends in the sports world. Pete Rose, baseball player. I know him as a baseball player. I know people who got dirt and he was betting. I don't care. I don't care about that. He was a Cincinnati Red. That's what I know. That's who I know him as. When Pete Rose passed away on today, and we also lost Dikembe Mutombo at the age of 56. So we're going to take a small moment of silence for those two gentlemen and their families. All right. All right. We pray. Our prayers go out to their families, to their support. May they rest in peace. And, we thank them for all their contributions that they gave to the world while they were here on this earth. I hope they received all their flowers while they were living, and they will be lost but never forgotten. That's just crazy. Didn't expect. I hate when we lose people, especially the unexpected ones. Like you're just like, dang. But I understand life. Life is life. Peachy, life is crazy, right?
And
like
it's getting shorter.
It's crazy. It's super crazy now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But like overall, man, I think the 49ers, moving forward, they just got to continue to build days. You talked about a kid, and I think this kid is going to continue to find ways to be phenomenal out there. Dominic Pooney, you just got to keep stacking the days. He's going to go up against tough competition at times. He's going to, as long as Dominic Pooney's out there giving it his best. That's what I like. You talked about the pressures from the offensive line. The offensive line gave up a total of 6 pressures from that New England Patriots defense, which is a pretty fierce defense.
Yes.
Pretty fierce. They only allowed 6 pressures. And there's context to it. Wide receivers weren't getting open. Brock had to escape the pocket a lot. Brock helped to avoid sacks, but it wasn't just because they gave up the pressure. It was more like it was an extended play. And once you give them an extended play, the pressure's off the offensive line. It's not like a guy came in. Now, Brock was sacked one time. I felt like that sack was actually on Brock Purdy. The offensive line didn't give up any sacks this week. So we got to give a round of applause to the offensive line. And they had 3 players, if I'm not mistaken, in the top offensive grades per PFF. You had Dominic Pooney, number 1. You had Trent Williams, number 2. You had Colton McKivitz up there. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Colton McKivitz, but Colton McKivitz had an 80-plus run grade.
They did pretty good yesterday.
80-plus run grade.
I'll have to give it to him.
Oh, man. 80-plus run grade? Man, listen.
I never thought I would say that, but yeah.
Yeah.
He did good.
He did. Look, you're going to have some good games. You're going to have some bad games. He had an 83.3 run grade on 32 run snaps. Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty damn good. Like, he was out there balling. Dominic Pooney, 79.1 run grade as well. But to be in the top 5 offensively, you know, you got 3 linemen, a Jawan Jennings, and I believe it was Jordan Mason, if I'm not mistaken. I'll look it up real quick. I thought that was pretty dope. Nope, it was George Kittle. Excuse me. George Kittle was number 5. Colt McKivitz was 4. I thought that was pretty good. You know who was number 6? Can you guess who had the 6th highest offensive grade? Take a lucky wild guess.
The 6th highest offensive grade.
Everybody out there, guess who had the 6th highest offensive grade? I should have did this on the Wayne Breezy show, but oh well. Didn't. We do it in here on Nitty Gritty.
Nigel says Debo.
No Juice, no Debo. I love it. You guys are never going to guess. Jawan Jennings Hurricane was number 4. 6 don't mean. I just want y'all to guess
Kittle?
who was 6. Kittle was 5.
Okay. So behind Kittle.
See, Cool Breeze is. See, this is funny, right? Come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we? You know this motherfucker didn't play. What the? Man, come on, man. Get that. Yeah. Okay, Cool Breeze. I see what you're doing, baby. All right. So, Robert Johnson said Brandon Ayuk. Nope. Brandon Ayuk actually was number 8. Brandon Ayuk was 8. Debo was 10. Juice Check was 11. Garindo, oh, you guys are guessing. Garindo was 17, and there's only 18 people up here. Saubert was 18. Oh, we getting there. Pooney was top 5. So Pooney's in the top 5. I want to know who number 6 was. Jordan Mason. I'm glad you guessed it, but it wasn't Jordan Mason. Offensively, he was 9. Number 6. Oh, he's been cleared to practice. I didn't get that memo. I didn't get the memo. He's been cleared to practice, but he hasn't been saying he's going to be on.
He's not been activated yet.
Activated, correct.
We have not decided to activate him yet. No,
Mustafa was on the defensive side. I'm talking offensive side. Banks, I thought Banks wasn't that great out there, but Banks was 14. Trent was 3. Jake Brendo. Did Robert Johnson? Did you look that up? Did you look at Jake Brendo has been the worst?
6?
He was the worst. He's been the worst offensive lineman for the past 2 years. The fact that he was 6, I don't know. Are we trending upwards? Are we going up?
Let's hope so.
You talked about the offensive line. I think the word I was looking for earlier was continuity.
Yeah.
I think the more they play together, he said, no, I didn't, sir. I'm just messing with you, dog. My bad. Brock was 7, Christy Marie. But the more I look at the offensive line, like the more they play together, they're starting to get their mojo. We're gonna know this week because we're gonna preview a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Cardinals.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna find out something this week.
Definitely gonna find out this week. We got the Cardinals matchup coming up.
Yep.
A divisional game. Niners are all 1 in division. All right. What? But the Niners are currently in 2nd place in the NFC West. I want that to sit there.
Yes.
We are 2-2. Them other teams are 1-3, and the Seahawks about to get they ass whipped, and they'll be 3-1, right? And so we got the Cardinals. We can make the Cardinals 1-4, and then we'll go 3-2, and we'll start to create some, little space or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the Cardinals matchup, Peachy, let's just talk about the matchup. You look at the Cardinals, they got your boy. First thing that comes to mind when you think about the Arizona Cardinals. First thing, one thing.
Well, since you named Marvin Harrison Jr., then I'll go another route. They have a pretty good running game with James Conner. And I can't remember what the backup is there.
The backup is Trey Benson. They drafted him from Florida State.
Yes. Yeah, they run the ball pretty good with them guys. So, and then you always have Kyler, who can also run the ball. So yeah, like so their threat is probably going to be what? The run game, right? Like, because when you look at the run game, it's the design runs from the quarterback. This is going to be the ultimate test. All right. The ultimate test for the San Francisco 49ers defense. Nigel has a great point. They did not have Trey McBride. That's a huge loss. He's in the concussion protocol, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to see
if he's going to even be good to go this weekend. I'm just going to count him out there. Trey McBride. The Niners actually aren't bad with tight ends, but
Right.
they haven't defended him well last year. I
Mm-hmm.
thought he was the one that was kind of like getting off, and he's the guy that now they got the deep game with Marvin Harrison Jr. They got Michael Wilson, I believe, still there, and they got some speed out of the backfield, like the Dortch kid, and so they got a pretty solid offense. And it starts, like you said, with their run game. I think James Conner is going to look to set the tone, and they got to find a way to be more physical than James Conner, because James Conner is going to come out there as a physical running back, and then they got a good 1-2 punch now, because now they got a young rookie too that runs just as hard as James Conner. So the Niners worry me at that linebacking position other than Fred Warner, because I could see it being a long day, these linebackers not filling these gaps, and next thing you know, they're getting pushed back around on the ball. This would be a great day for me to see Malik Mustafa, depending on how many snaps he gets. I hope Hufanga is back, because we want Hufanga back. But if Malik is there, it's be a great day for him to really tee off against some of these physical running backs down there at the line of scrimmage. So I'm excited to see if the Niners can match the physicality of the Arizona Cardinals. You asked me a question earlier. So the Niners have a total of 21 penalties on the season. All right. They have a total of 21 penalties that have counted. Okay. All right. For the 49ers. All right. That's 21. They're tied with. Can you guess who they tie with?
The Cardinals.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Team we hate.
The Cowgirls?
Nah, we can't beat this team.
Oh, the Chiefs?
Yeah, motherfuckers. All right, so we tied with the Chiefs. Guess where the Cardinals are? The Cardinals
Chiefs should have way more than that. They just don't, because they refs best friends. The Chiefs should be way down at the bottom when it comes to penalties. They should have probably 50.
This is important, though, because the Cardinals only have 18. They're not penalized a lot. That means they're a well-disciplined team. You know who was not penalized a lot? The Patriots, and they were ranked lower than the Cardinals. So if I'm going from bottom up, Tennessee is number 1, New England was 2, Vegas is 3, the Cardinals are 4th, Detroit is 5, Tampa Bay is 5th. And this is like the least amount of penalties too, by the way. Right. Indianapolis Colts is 7th, Bengals 8th, 9th, the Buffalo Bills, and 10th, tied for 10th, the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. So we're not penalized as much as a lot of these teams in the league where the penalties have counted against us. But Arizona, they are a non-penalized team. They get penalties, but they don't get a lot. So they're going to be well disciplined. And that's important, because the Niners have to pay attention to that. Like, the Niners have to make sure that they're more well disciplined and don't get out penalized. And they get out penalized by every team, because the refs are just going to throw the flags. It's all about how the Niners can overcome the adversity. You know what I mean? Right. Let's talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, he's a new piece. He had one good game out of the 4. Do you see him giving the 49ers fits?
It's funny, because I really did until I watched a couple of defenses against him, like the way that they're defending him. And you're right, he had like one really good game, but he's also had some bad ones. And if the defense finds a way to contain him, which our defense has definitely got the makeup to be able to do that. I feel a lot more confident that our defense is going to be able to slow him down, at least.
The only wide receiver that really gave the 49ers problems this year was Justin Jefferson. And that was on a busted play coverage.
Yeah.
I think the Niners are defending the pass better than what we given them credit. I don't want to go where we're ranked yet, because you got 2 teams playing tonight, and I kind of want to see where that sits. But
Now we did have that Tutu Atwell that in the Rams game.
He didn't go off though.
In the world happened in that? No, but
didn't go off at all. Like he just had an explosive play. That's my point. Like these guys are getting explosive plays, but the Vikings have the longest play in the NFL touchdown play of the NFL this year. It's a 97-yard touchdown. They had the longest play, and it was against us. You know, and so like that was the busted coverage play. When I look at, I'm looking at my man's stats. He's starting to kind of like average out now. He has scored in the last 3 games, so he's getting in the end zone.
Yeah.
But the yards are cut. So the Commanders defense was able to hold him to 5 receptions, 45 yards, and a touchdown. His long was 19. Opposed to that game where he went off with 4 receptions for 130 yards, averaging 32 points, had the longest 60. I think the Niners got to just say, hey, you're not beating us deep, dog. So if you're going to get all these dinky dunk passes, you want to catch some stuff, you're going to have to catch it underneath. And we're going to be there to tackle you. I think there's going to be a lot of cover 3 in this game where they're not going to just allow the deep route. Yeah. They're going to take that away. I think that's his strength. Now, if they do that and Trey McBride plays, that's where it can kind of get a little tricky. Because now you got to deal with the tight end underneath, check down, tight end, this is that, and the third. And that's kind of where the Niners, I feel like they struggle. Because since they're playing back coverage, they're giving up the underneath routes.
Right.
And so now the Niners got to get there and make these tackles. Everybody's worried about Marvin Harrison Jr. Why am I the only 49er player worried about Michael Wilson? Like this is the dude that kills us. This is Michael Wilson. For some reason, he just goes off on the 49ers. I don't know why. I don't.
Yeah, I feel that. So I get what you're saying about that, but I mean, we know that Kyler can air it out. So if our secondary, just like with explosive play in the Rams game, I keep going back to, if that happens, I mean, it could be a long day for us because we know that Kyler can do that. Like, so that's what makes me nervous. And Michael Wilson is also a problem as well. Yeah.
I love you. GSU for life. I love you. Listen, they better spy him.
Yeah.
Fred Warner don't got to play back.
Agree.
Fred Warner don't got to. But here's the thing. If this is where it could get tricky. Because, cover 3, you're not looking to give up the play, but you're going to give up the underneath. You're going to give up the open middle of the field. This is where Kyler Murray is going to go. Will we see a spy? I'm telling you, this is going to be a key defense. This is going to be key for the 49ers. Cover 2 with the man under. That's kind of like what I was just suggesting. If they don't do the cover 3 defense and they got the 2 safeties at the top, I don't know. I don't know. I know how we defended Kyler before, but now he has explosive weapons down the field.
Yeah.
I don't know, really, that we'll talk about that on the game plan with John Chapman when he went on Wednesday. They got to find a way to keep Kyler in that pocket. But if they don't, it's you know what? I take that back because it's not even about keeping Kyler in the pocket. What team did we play? I don't think Kyler's going to get outside. I think the Niners containment is good. I think the issue with Kyler is if Fred Warner's down the field covering Trey McBride, or they take Fred Warner out of the middle of the field, he's not spying. He has to cover in his zone or whatever, right? That's an open green pasture for Kyler Murray to rush right up the middle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Open, whatever. I haven't watched the Commanders film, but I definitely will watch it so I can determine what type of defense with that they play. But my point is they got to figure out how to keep him inside the pocket, like y'all said, and not give up like the middle of the field where people might be covered and he'll take off and rush for 20 plus yards. That's the issue. This is the ultimate test. The ultimate test for Nick Sorensen and his defense, because we watched Steve Wilks. If y'all could shit on Steve Wilks all y'all want, right? But the one thing that the defense got better at was containing these mobile quarterbacks. I think Kyler Murray rushed for the most. I think he had 45 yards last year, maybe 54. It was that number. Can't remember if it was 54.
Yeah, it was 50 something. Yeah, it wasn't that much. Yeah.
But he had the most. We were able to contain Lamar Jackson. We were able to contain all these mobile quarterbacks. So we're gonna see. This is gonna be the ultimate test.
So they're what I was seeing on the Cardinals pages was not having Trey McBride hurt them a lot because it took away a massive target for them, which made the target on another receiver. And so it of course like shrinks that area as to what you can do. So they felt like that not having Trey McBride was a huge part of the problem yesterday.
And I agree. And they're also missing him in run blocking. So like I said, if he plays, they're gonna get their run blocker back. He's like their version of George Kittle. That's how I look at Trey McBride. RM, any word on Ricky Pearsall? I believe the practice window is open for Ricky Pearsall, but as far as him being activated to the active roster, the Niners they got to see how he practices. Right. I think they just got to see how he practices. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that works out. My boy Collie says Bosa has a habit of crashing and not protecting the edge. Yes, but he's been doing that against non-mobile quarterbacks. He's not expecting those quarterbacks to take out and run. Right? We're talking about Bosa played really well against Kyler Murray last year, like really well. So we'll see how these edges, and now we got Leonard Floyd, so we got to see how that side works as well. But like I said, as long as they don't crash in on the edge, I think they rush. They don't rush as harsh, like as hard. Like I don't think they crash in when they're dealing with the quarterback that's gonna look to try to bounce the ball outside. I think their thing is to keep these quarterbacks in the pocket. And now, you know what we didn't have last year? We didn't have the pass rush from the interior. And the quickest way to the quarterback is in a straight line. It's not from the sides.
Yep.
So now you got Malik Collins, Kevin Givens. These guys got some sacks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so they're able to rush the passer. So go ahead, Kyler Murray, and kind of step up in that pocket if you want to. I'm looking at Malik Collins, karate chop cats out his way, and next thing you know, he's right around the quarterback. And is it me or I'm in love with freaking Sam O? Like I'm in love with him. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I just think he's a phenomenal player. He plays smart. He plays right. Has great energy. Will he be a guy that's going to get an active roster spot? They have 2 roster spots. Right. Or will they continue to find ways to bring him up? You know what I mean? I think Sam O is going to be a problem for the 49ers. They just need to get him in here. Collie says he did it in the Super Bowl. Again, Patrick Mahomes is a weird kind of mobile quarterback, right? He's not really looking to run. He's really looking to extend the play. He will run if you crash in. But I feel like against the actual, like the running quarterbacks, the quarterbacks that get these design play runs, like I think the Niners were a little bit better. I'm not saying Bosa's great at setting the edge. I'm just saying he's definitely improved. We're going to find out this year, though, how better he's gotten. You know what I mean? How better he's gotten. I think the wide 9 is just too damn wide. I think we need to get rid of the wide 9. Let these guys get their regular spacings and get the regular gaps. You know what I mean? You know, that's my thought. But yeah, Kalia Davis is a player that's going to be returning and hopefully be taking up, an active roster spot. I think that's the plan for Kyle Shanahan, which will give them some good interior depth and help. Hey, Peachy, let me ask you this question. If Jordan Elliott, I thought, was playing decent until the injury, do you move Kevin Givens to the starting role and put Jordan Elliott back on the rotation piece? Like, what would you do with the defensive front?
That is what I would do. I would do exactly that, especially with Elliott dealing with whatever. So then you move Kevin Givens. I loved what I saw from Givens. It was really good. I was impressed overall. I felt like that whatever it was, if it was personnel change or whatever happened, but whatever it was seemed to work out really good for us with that. So I'm I was impressed with that. That's exactly what I would do.
I agree. I'm just hoping that when you start, it changes. I hope it doesn't change the way he plays. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just a fired up player off the bench, comes in rotation,
Right.
or what. But I really did like the addition of Evan Anderson. You got some rotation from Evan Anderson. Like, I really like what I saw from the defensive line against the New England Patriots. The question is, will they be able to go out there against a different type of offensive line,
Right.
you know, from those Arizona Cardinals? Like that, and that's the key. Like, I'm looking at their offensive line, and I'm saying to myself, they got your boy Paris Johnson Jr. from he's their left tackle. All right, they got the free agent Evan Brown. All right, from Seattle. They got another free agent from Cleveland. That's their center. They got Will Hernandez. Remember him? He's like that bull guy that they got from the Giants. All right, and they made their offensive line. Like, only player that's on there that they drafted was Paris Johnson Jr. I feel like Bosa should have I'm not saying Paris Johnson Jr. is marshmallow, but
right.
Let me, how many sacks is Paris Johnson Jr. giving up? I gotta look up that. Let me see if I can get that while we doing this. I'm curious to know how many sacks their offensive line has given up.
Yeah.
All right, premium stats. Let's go Cardinals. Let's go overall Cardinals. And of course, they're not gonna let me do that. Cardinals team report. All right, let's just see what their offensive line is looking like. All right, so I look at their blocking, their pass blocking. All right, so he's responsible for, so far on the season, only one penalty. Their offensive line, their offense has only committed 2 penalties.
Wow.
In 4 games.
That's
and only one of those was on the offensive line. That was Paris Johnson. So he's given up 2 sacks. He's given up 3 hurries. That's a total of 5 pressures.
Okay.
They've only given up 7 sacks all season.
Dang. Yeah, just like GSU said, they seem to have a pretty disciplined O-line. So,
yeah, like, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, sugar. Listen, at the end of the day, they 1-3. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're 1-3. I'm not sleeping on these Cardinals. I'm not gonna like bypass. First of all, it's a divisional game.
Right.
Okay, it's a divisional game. We're not gonna sleep on them.
Of course not.
You can't, Kyle. If you let that coach and this team beat you, I think we need to have a conversation. It's different when it's Sean McVay. This is not Sean McVay. How do you think Kyle comes out and looks to get, like, I don't want to say get right, but what do you think Kyle's gonna do in this particular game? He's gonna have his guys. The only guy he's missing, obviously, is Christian McCaffrey.
Right. It's definitely going to benefit us to have almost every Avenger out there except for one. So
he said every Avenger, like all of them.
All of them out there except for one. I still feel like that Kyle's getting, well, I don't know. We have this new thing where I guess we're gonna try to be pass happy or whatever. So
Bro,
we'll see what happens with that. But I hope that they run the ball a lot because.
All right, so let's talk about how they're running the ball, because they are running the ball.
Yeah,
they are running the ball. Okay, so we do need to look at that. Look, I'm looking at that. They have, as a total offense, they have 614 yards. James Conner has 288 yards as of right now.
Yeah,
288. Guess how many yards Kyler Murray has?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Probably 100 and something.
164 yards.
Sounds about right.
Here's a name to pay attention to: Imari DeMercado.
Yes,
that's a name to pay. That's a speedy guy. Him and Greg Dortch are their speedy dudes. All
Yep.
right, speed dudes.
That's right.
I think that the issue though, when I look at James Conner, he's averaging 3.6 yards after contact.
Mm-hmm.
DeMarcado is at averaging 7.88 yards after contact.
Yeah.
Like these dudes are running the ball, and you have to find a way between Connor and Murray. This is what you said earlier. They have a total of literally 16 explosive runs over 10 yards.
It's
The team has 20 total, but they have 16 of the 20. Like, you were not lying when you said we got to find a way to stop Kyler Murray. And that's what I hate about playing the freaking Cardinals. Like, out of all the quarterbacks, this the one that's like a itch in the ass. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely is.
Man, get out. Like, come on.
Our defense has got to be disciplined, and we have got to, just be on our assignments. We can't have a bunch of missed tackles, because they sit up there and they start missing on these guys that are out here running it, and it's still going to be a long day. And just Kyler, we know how shifty he can be and how slippery and shifty he can be. So hopefully our defense should be prepared for that. We should be ready for that challenge. But we do, like, we play Kyler a lot of times. We know he always gives us fits every time we play him, especially a Kyler Murray that's 100%. That is, that is healthy and just ready to roll. So, yeah.
I don't like playing Kyler Murray.
I don't either. I don't either.
Because
not at all.
First of all, he's tiny.
Yes.
And then second of all, it's like when you think you got him,
right?
He's getting out.
And it's slippery.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Like you talked about missed tackles. I know.
Yeah.
I know. So I don't think the Niners are going to be scared or anything like that. But they just got to go out there and not make mistakes.
Right.
As far as those type of mistakes, they got to play fundamentally sound. I think that's what I was trying to say.
Yes.
They got to play fundamentally sound when they're dealing with a guy like Kyler Murray.
Great words.
Because if he extends a play, that's just giving him new life.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just giving them new life. And we don't want to continue to give them drives to where they're extending drives and things like that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game. Who on the 49ers, Peachy, will be the Cardinals, like, killer? Like who is the Cardinal guy? I know who mine is, but who is your Cardinal killer guy? Like the guy that just does the damn thing offensively against their defense every single time. Just
So you want to know the Cardinals' offensive player?
No, I want to know from the Niners who's going to kill their defense. Torch their defense.
I think Mason will.
Ooh, that's a new piece.
I really do.
New piece.
I think that if Kyle commits to the run and he runs the football, then Mason could really do some damage against Arizona.
I can dig it. Okay, so let's talk about their run defense. All right, because their run defense is damn near like not last, but bottom 28th, like 32, 31, 30, 29, 28. Good, I could count. They're giving up 146 and a half yards per game.
Yeah.
But for some reason, PG, Kyle Shanahan doesn't give a fuck about that. Like,
I know.
He will prove that he can throw the ball on this defense, right? Which is fine. But why not like just pound the rock? Like until they can stop it. Until they can stop it.
Exactly.
Until they can stop it.
That's I 100% agree with that.
So I'm with you on your take. I just feel like Kyle going a little bit away from that.
Probably.
Uh-oh. Why is the score? How did they score? All right. Seahawks. I mean Lions. Don't F this up because you will get fucked up. You hear me, Lions? Don't mess this up. All right. My guy offensively is the one and only George Kittle. It's Budda Baker versus George Kittle.
Yes.
And Kittle wins it every single time. Always. And he doesn't have Jimmy Garoppolo throwing him high passes.
They gonna have no hospital balls running around there everywhere.
So I'm with you, Anthony 88. This is easy. It's Kittle. I'm with you. I'm only worried about what did Kittle have, a rib injury?
Yeah.
I'm just a little concerned how sore that those ribs are. But for me, this is all like, let George Kittle do what he does. I'm
Yes.
cool with Brock finding him over the middle. I want to see some underneath stuff. But at the end of the day, they got to deal with Brock Purdy too. And if you're a Cardinals fan, I wonder what they're saying about the 49ers. Like we're letting the world know who we need to be kind of like aware of, from the Cardinals perspective. But I wonder what they're thinking about the 49ers, because the 49ers are no slouch. And when they're clicking on all cylinders, they're clicking on all cylinders.
And we have a quarterback that can also put on the wheels. So if he needs to, so.
I'm with it. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I looked that up too. I wanted to see how many rushing yards Brock Purdy has. It's only 62. 62 to Kyler Murray's 164. Like, the Niners only have 554 yards rushing as a combination. And
as a group together, everybody? Wow.
I mean, Jordan Mason's at 447.
Yeah.
But like, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Purdy's 62. Purdy's second. Purdy is second.
Yeah, I guess that. Okay. Yeah.
So I would like to see more. Maybe we get more Garendo. I don't know if Garendo's in the doghouse. Big Des. I don't know if he's in the doghouse. Like, but this is a game that Kyle Shanahan, this is a must-win game. And
100%.
I think Kyle comes out with the book. I think Kyle says, F it. Get the first one, and we'll worry about the second one later on in the season. But get the first one. They got to get the first win, period.
Yes.
Got to get the first win. I think Big Des also said we got to control the clock. And so that's what you talked about, running the ball. Just keep Kyler Murray off the field. Keep him off the field and have a lead. I prefer Kyler Murray throwing the ball.
Yes.
More than anything else. So if we go up 14, 21, nothing, that's what we need. Because now Kyler got to come out. That'll eliminate the run game. You make them one-dimensional. They come out, and now you can get some interceptions.
Speaking of that, how many INTs has Kyler thrown this year?
That's a good question. Let me check it out.
I know Brock has 2.
All right, so Kyler Murray on the season, offensive passing. Kyler Murray, Brock does have 2, and Kyler Murray has 6. I mean, one.
Oh, he has 1.
He has 6 TDs. I'm sorry.
Oh, so he has 1 IT.
I wish it was 6.
Got you.
They literally don't turn the ball over, and they don't make mistakes.
I think Pat Mahomes has 6. So
this is literally the toughest game I think the Niners are going to play so far, because now they're playing against a sound team.
Right.
I mean, Brock Purdy has 5 TDs, but 2 interceptions. So
they're just very disciplined.
Very disciplined.
That's
very, very, very disciplined.
Very disciplined.
Score prediction. Early score prediction. You could change it up once you get more news, but what do you got the 49ers doing? The Niners are at home.
Yep.
Levi's going to be rocking. What's your score prediction for this game?
I have another 30 Purdy game. I'm going to go 32 27.
Ooh, man, I don't want the defense to give them 27 points. I'm gonna go 31-17. Okay. I think 17.
I love that.
Is enough. I don't even want to give up 21. We got some score predictions in here. 31-17. Look at that. I see you, Ed.
I like that.
Yeah, 31-17. They did call those fumbles on Brock Purdy too. Those weren't on Mason, by the way. However you want to take it. Gotta stop tossing the ball. Just hand the shit off. Make it super simple.
Right.
Super simple. Are you going 23-21, man? I can't.
I hope it's not that close.
I can't do that. I can't
Right,
do it. I'll have to do it, but I don't want to do that. Like, oh, you too?
Ooh,
I can't.
Goodness,
You got the Cards winning? mother freaker. You about to get excommunicated. You got 31-14. I think we get 31. I actually think the Niners do what you say. They run away. They run the ball. They control the clock. They do all those things. They throw for touchdowns. George Kittle has a big day. I'm talking like 100+ yards, 2 touchdowns in the end zone. I think the red zone offense gets a lot better. You know what I mean? That's what we want. And that's kind of like where I am. Corey got us 35-10. All right. Look at that, man. Big Dad's 28-20. All right. I could dig it. All right. 35-10. I see you, Corey. Oh, he said joking. 34-7. Oh, he gave him an extra field goal. All right. Jake Moody get 6 points in this game. I could dig it. PG, any final thoughts before we dip up out of here?
No, just we have a major divisional game. It is important that we take care of business. I think Vegas right now, I think the line is -7.5 right now. So that, or -7.5 right now, which is really good. I was shocked. They said that it's possible that they could raise with news because it depends. I think they're trying to figure out if McBride is going to be able to go or not. That may change a little bit. If that's the case, it may be a higher spread than that. But you guys were awesome, interactive as always. Let's just get this win. Let's just take care of business, get this win at home, and get ready to hit the road.
Let's do it. Get ready to hit the road. Short week after this week. I know we're not going to look past this week. We got to get this win this week. But guys, we do thank you for tuning in. We truly appreciate it. Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? It's the first time you're watching the show. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. We got all kinds of shows up here for you guys to enjoy football every single day of your life. And so make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for the good shows, the great shows. We appreciate you, man. Thank y'all so much. We out this joint. Listen, keep it nitty gritty for sure. Don't ever change for nobody. You know how we do. We're going to stay nitty gritty. We out this joint. Peace.